Hello and welcome to the Backbenchers podcast. Tonight we will be talking all things Survivor Canberra Survivor Canberra season 4, episode 11, No Regrets or Regrets. And with me, I'm very excited to welcome Ashley all the way from the US. You've met her before. She's a member of the Live to Give community. And Zach, a very special guest who is helping us out this evening all the way from Perth. He is, if you are new to the LRG community, Zach was on season 3 of Backyard Survivor. So welcome both. Thank you for joining me.
Well, yes.
Thanks for having us.
And I'm sad we only have a couple episodes left. By couple, I mean 2.
It's crazy. So guys, what are your initial thoughts on episode 11? It's not episode 11?
No, yeah, you go, Ash.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I could have got
that was just me being
very on brand
for me. Just using the bubbles.
I am excited about this end game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think we highlight everyone's strengths in this episode, so that was a lot of fun. And I think it shows we're still cooking at a high level of strategy in the top 6. And we're going to be coming in for a good finale. That's what I thought about this episode.
I loved seeing, I know this sounds really mean to the cast, I loved seeing the cognitive fatigue with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like the raw moments,
yeah.
In all their different forms, and we'll get to it, I'm sure, but we've had some emotionality. I feel like we've had the sentences that go nowhere, or people just saying authentically what they think on their minds. They're like trying to hide their face, but you can read it a bit more. Like it's kind of that like final push in an LRG where you just get to watch the cracks form and you're like, who's going to be able to navigate it? So it's been really exciting.
100%. Totally get it though. Like you just get to that last bit and you're like using every single cell left in your body just to push through. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Ashley. Like you can just see that everyone's like totally focused on endgame now. And it's like that final push for that one big last move to cement that place in the top 3, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot, I feel like a lot of this episode was focused on the aftermath of what had just happened as well with the Aston vote out in the episode before. So I feel like that shifted a lot of the dynamics as well, and alliances have gone out the window. What are your thoughts on that?
You want to take it, Zach?
Sure. I mean, I thought it was really interesting to see the fallout of that last vote. I mean, like specifically for me, just the interconnection of the standing around and talking about the votes in a really public way, and the way that people really use these moments to kind of throw, I don't know, like Anthea's approach to be like, what are you talking about? And bold-faced lie, as she kind of said, versus like Janine and Brie really utilizing the coming straight back from camp to be like, so let's all stand in a circle and talk about who everybody voted for, like really trying to push these things.
Yeah,
so I felt like it was this
through the numbers.
I feel like even though I have different particular thoughts on different people and how they use those moments, I thought it was really interesting to see the fallout of such a large crack. What about you?
I couldn't be happier hearing Anthea say, I'm just going to lie. I'm like, yes, forget honesty. Come on. Keep stirring the pot of chaos. Let them be like, oh, did Janine vote for me? Derek's like, is it Janine? No, it's not Janine, but could it have been? Is it Anthea? I don't know. I love a little paranoia, a little chaos. So that was kind of fun to see her being like, I mean, I did it, but I'll just lie. Why not? Super fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, do you think lying right when you've come back is a good move, or does it hurt her game? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, yes, once you see the circle of everyone being like, I voted for like as soon as all the information comes out, sure. But like, I mean, I don't think there's any, I'm okay with lying in a game, like personally. Charlene knows that the best probably in this circle, but I don't know. Like it definitely doesn't hurt her in this episode because of the connection she's made at this point. I think she knows she has a little bit of wiggle room based on the conversation she has with Will, being like, I would have voted for you had I known. And like them just rebonding over that and making that connection stronger. I think she knows she has the numbers at this point.
Yeah, and like, why do you think it is that Anthea like doesn't actually go to Will? Because part of me is like, I'm hearing what she's saying to him, and I think she was a bit worried that he wouldn't sort of flip that alliance. But do you think part of it as well is like wanting to own the move, or what are your thoughts behind that? Because I think it's it kind of defined this episode.
Yeah, I think love to be corrected in the chat. I think Anthea's perspective could have been more laser focused on who she wants to bring to the end game. And it sounded like from her thoughts, it was, I've got to dump Nat, I've got to dump Will, and I've got to dump Derek. And I feel like she became laser focused on the final three, or potentially the four she was taking through, being herself and the three original Reds. So I don't really know if she really considered the damage she would do to Will and her relationship by taking a stab at Derek, because I thought, she might claim the move, but also when they come back and go, what the hell, she can be like, oopsies, and she's got a 4 that she thought she was just going to roll to the end with. So I feel like it was not because she didn't trust him to make the move, but more so because she wasn't planning on having to work with Will later down the line, and now she's come back and been like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
But she comes back so good from that too. Sorry, Ashley.
No, you're good. Go.
No, you go.
Is top 7 too early to consider your final 3, though? Like, that's my question. Did she pull the trigger too soon? Is top 7 too early to think about your finals?
To think about the finals, no. I think you got to start thinking about a final 7, but to solidify a 3 and only expect to go with that 3, I think it's too early for that. So I think it was the right time to make a move on for Anthea on Derek. But why it didn't come to fruition is a whole different story. But I think she would have had to navigate with those Red 3 could have easily stuck together. Like Brie, Aston, and Janine could have been like, yay, great work, Anthea, and then flick, she's gone at final 4 or final 5. So I don't know. I think maybe she was banking on more connections than just those, but I just thought maybe she was kind of switching it fully up in her mind. That's what it read to me last episode.
Yeah, and I think you've made a really good point as well. I think with those sort of 3 for including Aston from the episode before, but I think I can very clearly see them setting up their own individual games.
Yeah.
Like even though they were from the same OG tribe, they have played quite different games, and particularly like Brie and Aston, I think we're trying to really distinguish us. And you can see that in Brie in this episode as well. She's really trying to pave her own path, make her own big moves. She did that last episode. She's doing that again this episode. And I think Anthea's seeing that she needs to do the same thing. Not in a comparative way, but she's got the same end goal, right? And I just don't know that I'm necessarily seeing that from the others as well. From the OG Blue tribe. So it's an I
think for both of them, it's about the relationships they're building. Like both of them seem so individual in their games that I'm worried that maybe they're not considering, like, I think, for example, like Brie in the last vote thought Janine was in with it. And that was, she was thinking metagame. She was thinking like, if I throw that vote on Anthea, then Anthea will be exposed because she couldn't have voted for herself. And it was like 10 steps ahead when Janine wasn't going through with that plan in the first place. So that kind of all unravels. And for me, I was like, is this a good spot for Brie to be in or a bad spot? Because she's just lost an ally that was probably going to stay loyal to her for a period of time at least, where I feel like maybe she's more exposed here. But then Brie really turns it around this episode because things become more fluid. So maybe losing Aston isn't the worst thing for her. However, I must say, I guess a question for you guys is that Janine comes into the episode and is like, I'm stirring it up. I don't really care where I threw my vote, right? She's like,
obsessed with Janine. I am obsessed with her.
This is her like cognitive fatigue from my perspective.
I think it's just Janine.
Janine's gone to the winds, whatever. who cares at this point? I've done better than I thought I was going to do. But I wondered, do you think it was smart of Janine to let Aston go in an attempt to pit Anthea and Derek against each other? Or do you think she should have stuck to the Derek vote out?
I think in my eyes, like, she sees Derek as her most valuable ally at this point.
Yeah.
Like, just because like Aston had been like giving her some crumbs, but not enough of like the meal, where Derek's like, come into my house, here's the 3-course meal, here's your
Yeah.
dessert, I love everything, here's the tea, and you give me tea and we'll be happy. So I feel like that's where I see Janine's role, as being like in a Camp Derek, which we see in this episode. She doesn't vote for him to go. So I mean, I think kudos to him on like keeping that relationship building, and I think Janine's gonna do what she wants to do at the end of the day. I've been saying that, and I'll keep saying it, which I love about her.
Do you know what I love about Janine, though? In every single episode, you always see her reading the best social read. Like, she always knows exactly what people are thinking about her. She knows when people are bullshitting her. Like, she's got a great, like, lie detector. She just inherently knows when people want to work with her and when they don't. And she's able to pivot really easily. I think she has a very disarming personality. So people are just like, as soon as they're like, oh, Janine's in a position where she's no longer working with that person, and they see that as an asset to them, but it's actually an asset to her. And I just feel like she's got this real, like, great under the radar, like, social game. And I'm really excited to see how she's going to continue to use it.
I think it's been really strong in the pre-merge, especially. Like, I was like, oh my God, Janine's getting what she wants every time. I worry that as we're progressing towards the end, her ability to just shoot at anyone who she's like, nah, I don't really like them, so I'm just going to throw a vote on them. Or like, you know, is going to rub the connections that are left in the wrong way, and people aren't going to respect that she's going off script. That's my concern, is that although it's not landing in a massive repercussion within the game, I worry about her final 3 performance. If people are on the jury being like, if you actually stuck with a plan, more maybe the end game would be different. So she's going to have to articulate why she chose to play the game that way and how it's actually benefited her, and get people on side in that final kind of pitch.
Because I think we're seeing, like, she's doing a lot of the right social reads, having correct plays this way, but like, I think the jury might have a hard time connecting with her taking a move and owning it as her own, like driving the bus rather than just being a passenger at some points.
Yeah, but then there's moves like when they're standing around talking about their votes, specifically on Janine, where I've gone, I think if she really planned to do this, okay, let's talk about the vote. And she's like, oh, Derek, I never voted for you, but I was told to. That's her best. Like, she's really doubled down on, okay, I'm letting Aston go, but now I'm blowing this shit up. And that's when she does it, in that actual post vote like moment. That's when I feel like her biggest move of the episode is, because then it all gets crazy and Derek's on Anthea and Anthea's trying to walk it back, and Will's like, why have I been left out? And Janine kind of just sits back and talks shit to the camera and is like, excellent, now it's not me.
I love it. It's so good. I love watching Janine. So we move into the challenge, which is its own level of spicy as well, and has its own level of drama. What did we think of the original challenge?
I think it's fun.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of blindsided. That was
we were all blindsided.
The first blindside of the episode for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, the death montage, what's going on? But I really loved the challenge. I thought it was really cool.
I loved the way that it was cut, like that we did get blindsided, because it just kind of happened like right in the middle of it, right? Like, you're kind of expecting potentially someone's about to win this challenge. And then next minute it just gets cut. Sorry, Ashley.
I think it was really cool visually. I think looking at right before we cut, Janine has like one word, but Derek has a wildly different word. So in my game, I'm like, oh, which is right? Who's gonna do it correctly? Like, I was like, and then I was like, oh, we'll never know. Well, we might know, but we'll never know.
I looked at all the letters because I had to do the puzzle myself. I was like, oh my gosh, which one's right? And it looked like it was astounding. and then outstanding would have needed an extra T, which wasn't there. So I think Derek and Nat were like really close to potentially winning that challenge, which
I
also
feel like
would
Derek
make a
was
massive.
so close to winning that challenge.
Yeah.
One thing I did love though, and it's not necessarily to do with the players, but just that there was a shout out to the crew as well. I loved that Malcolm got a shout out because, you know, I feel that knowing Malcolm, he just prides himself on doing the absolute best job, and everyone in this community is in absolute awe of what he does in these challenges every single episode. And just that he got that highlight, I think is so important. It's so easy to get caught up on the what could have, should have, all those things. But just to have that moment to remember that there's like a whole team that goes behind these episodes. I'm like, we just need to celebrate that, you know?
Yeah. I always watch the end credits, go, look at those names, look at those people, how awesome they are. So
I know.
I think it was also a really great way of Dan framing that, you know, in something that would be really hard to edit, to be like, you know, this is unfortunate, and this is kind of what it looks like in LRGs sometimes, and you know, it's not, you know, we can forget that, you know,
because mistakes happen, wind happens, anything happens where you got to make an adjustment and do a game time move, and you know, that's part of the LRGs where people don't get to see it often, but it's a hard, stressful thing on the cruise. So good on them for making it happen. Keep it going.
But even from like a player perspective as well, like it just really leans into the fact that you never know what's going to happen, right? Like the crew can try and intentionally produce something where they're creating a twist or whatever, but sometimes the most unexpected things will happen even for the crew. So it's just part of the game. But then we get into a challenge 2.0. And it's over I watched it 3 times with my husband. It's over in 8 seconds.
Amazing. 8 seconds of bliss for Brie.
8 seconds of bliss. I was like shook. I had to rewatch it because I was just like, there's no way. It was wild.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that in an LRG as well, right? Damn, it's like bang, over, done.
Snap the eye. Like when I'm proud some things, I'm like, look away, I grab a snack, I'm like, oh, it's over already? What do you need?
The explanation takes longer than the challenge.
Oh, exactly. I've got time.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a really great compromise to be able to kind of figure out how to do it in an equitable way. But yeah, Bree's just had the skills.
So quick indeed, and I like her explanation. I saw ing, always good to make a verb, and you know, just using the letters in 8 seconds. So 2 seconds on the ing, and you know, the other 6 to get, what was the word?
Daunting.
Okay.
What I don't understand is it took her longer to explain her thinking behind it than it took her to I was like, how did you do that?
It's the Christian Hubicki, like being like, oh, I could have done it quicker had I done this, this, and this on David versus Goliath on the opening, you know, like where he's like, oh, I could have done it quicker, as he does his puzzle in like 7 seconds too. So it's funny, like looking back.
But I feel like in this moment, one person in particular would be very gutted because he went from almost winning Challenge 1.0 to unfortunately not winning Challenge 2.0. And that is our eliminated contestant this evening, who is Derek, and he's joining us. So I'm going to welcome him to the stage.
Legend.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you guys.
Welcome. So, Derek, something that you said quite early in this episode is the aftermath of the episode prior, getting some votes and things like that, having people potentially turn on you that you've been working with, is that you will keep on shining. And shining, indeed, you have done through this whole season. And we are so grateful that you've come on to talk to us.
Of course, had to be with all my favorite people. Thank you so much. Feel honored.
Now, I'm sure that Zach and Ashley have a lot of questions for you, and I know that you're very close friends with Ashley. So I actually wanted to give her an opportunity, the CEO of Gaslighting Academy, to ask
Yeah.
a question because I'm sure she has some burning questions. And in the meantime, I'll ask that anyone from home, if you have questions for Derek, put them in the comments.
Well, first and foremost, sorry to the fans who drafted Derek and lost. I'm sure your friends and family are not happy to hear this.
I am one of those people.
Yeah, me too.
So sad.
My heart hurts, my draft does not, so we move. I know you mentioned this in your exit that you had been meant to play season 2 and potentially season 3, and season 4 comes, so that's year and a half, 2 years of waiting to play. Tell us what it meant to finally get out there and to get so deep into the game.
I think season 2 was a bit of a journey. It was mid-COVID. And for me, I never want to do something if I'm not 100% in it. And I think there was just too many things going on in the world and in my personal life. I was like, I don't think I can go out there and truly give what I need to. And then obviously finally getting the opportunity to play in season 4 was incredible because I felt like I was ready. I felt like there was so much growth that had happened. I just moved to Melbourne, just moved out of home, so many changes in my personal life. And I was like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to keep it cute and calm, and then I'm going to keep it sassy and classy till the end. Ultimately, with a check, that was always my mission. But I'm still glad as to how it all went down.
You definitely kept it classy the whole way through. Something that Bree is asking in the comments, and I'm also keen to know, is who you'd taken to the end. And I feel like this episode in particular would be quite defining. Like, I'd like to know if it changed from the aftermath, of the vote prior. So there was a few questions in there.
I think the one person that I was definitely taken to the end is my one and only Miss Janine. I think I say it very early on. It was pre-merge after the swap. I kind of noticed that Will and Anthea were quite close because as soon as she came up to me and told me about the idol clue after she told Will, I was like, okay, well, technically I'm not the first person that you feel comfortable enough to share this information with. So I think seeing how I had people that I wanted to work with, but having alliance members that are also trying to obviously create their own sort of moves and their own alliances and side deals, I felt as though Will was probably the person that I would want out first. But there had been talks of an all-girls alliance, so I felt like I need to keep him long enough to get rid of him maybe at a 5, as opposed to where we were at. So I think Janine, and then it would have been between Natalie or Anthea, depending on how Natalie uses idols. I think at 7, it would have been Anthea and Janine. But that turned around quickly as soon as it got to 6, as we know.
Why do you feel like it was Anthea over you in that moment? Like when it came down to the vote?
I think there was a couple of different factors. I think the one person that I never really put any effort into at this point, truthfully, was Brie. And I think, and you kind of see it at Final 7 when she is asking all of us what move we want to make with her. Will and Anthea go back. I don't, because I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not wasting my time. Not understanding, obviously, the power of the people that might be down this week might be the people in power the next week. And as soon as that challenge obviously took a turn and she wins it, I'm running to her. I'm like, okay, so let's go Anthea now. But I think I hadn't built enough of a relationship with her. And I think it's something that we did speak about, where whenever we were trying to have a conversation, something else would occur or somebody else would come in and sort of join the conversation. And so we never actually had an opportunity to have a one-on-one. So I think Anthea obviously mentions this. She wants the 3 blues gone. Will, I mean, as he mentions, he feels as though there's I guess, layers and aspects of the game that I might be a threat on. And I think with Nat, she wants to make a move. She wants to do something different that allows her to stand out as opposed to the other Gula members. And Brie had one, who's the other person that I think we were going to be looking at as a potential vote out for that round.
I know you had thought about going to the desperation station, but you did not have your clock on you, so you didn't see that run out. Knowing what it was, do you think you have a chance at getting it complete? Like looking at it like now backstage.
I don't think so, to be quite honest. I love maths, but I don't think at the point where I was at in the game, I don't think I could have been able to do that. But I had just won 2 challenges, so I think people would have probably thought that I was going to do it. So I probably could have bluffed it, but I think I kind of focused so much at that point on on having Natalie play the idol for me. And I thought that would give me more of an incentive long term than just trying to go to desperation station, because yes, I'm safe at 5, but I still have to think about making it to the end rather than just make it one extra round. That's not going to be able to fully cement myself at the very end of the game. And one thing they didn't show is when Natalie finds the idol at Tribal, she actually asked me if I wanted to go and get it. So I think she trusted me enough to be the one to have the idol. And so that's why I was so pushy on her playing the idol, because I saw it as an idol between us, per se. But, you know, she needed to make her move. So I completely get it.
I wondered if that was something you could sell to her as being her move. Like I genuinely thought I was blindsided in this episode. I had thought you were the winner from the moment. You know, like when you see people almost going, like, they're not going, they're the winner. Like, I'm not threatened that Derek's going to go.
He's
so
totally
blindsided. But I really thought that you were going to get like sell it to her as like, this is her move. Like, play it on me and we'll blindside somebody else that no one's expecting. Like, it's just our move together. Did you feel like there was some hesitation on her playing it for you because you had lost that rapport, or that she felt you were more of a threat? Like, why don't you think she went through that?
I think me approaching her and Anthea before the tribal was the problem, because I showed that I didn't trust her. And I think once she sees that I didn't, because she told me, you're fine. They're just trying to throw your name out there. They're trying to make you feel as though you're in trouble and give you some sense of paranoia, and you're buying into it. But Dan did me great service very early on in the season. I was not trusting Natalie at all. There's an array of confessionals where I am basically talking about how I can't trust Natalie. I need Natalie out. I just was something. I don't know what it was, but I felt off with her. So I think it's only fitting at the very end that she has so much power that I kind of needed to play this idol on me, and she does the thing that I thought she was gonna do, but I can't speak, unjustifiably. So I think for her, by me telling her that it's gonna be her or Will, if it's not me, and that they need to keep me up to a 5 or a 4 because people will be going for me over them, probably made her feel as though it makes more sense to play the idol for herself, so that she can guarantee that she can at least make it to 4, whereas keep me as a threat that could win challenges at that stage. So I think she just felt as though that was a better move for her, because she still had Will around and Brie, who were people that were perceiving as being bigger threats in different ways at that stage.
Looking at beyond just this episode, I wanted to ask you, because you've pretty much gone through almost the entire season, and there's a lot of gameplay that you've had there. I wanted to ask, what is one thing you're really proud of that you did during the season?
One thing I'm really proud of, I think I challenged myself. I think going into this, and I think I said this in my Meet the Cast video, where I felt like there would be specific, I guess, groups of people or situations that I might be put under within the game that I wouldn't be able to sort of tackle and deal with. but I felt like I handled those conversations and moments quite well. And honestly, the amount of growth that I got from this opportunity is insane. I think coming back into my day-to-day life was life-changing. Like it impacted the way that I was tackling work, personal life, everything. And so I think it's the ability to sort of see yourself in a different light and understand your power. And I think because for me, it's always been about, and I think I said this at the very beginning, is if I was to watch a season of something, I want to see someone that represents me and someone that I can see myself in. And so I think going out there and allowing myself to have that and have people around that was showing different things just gave me so much joy and sort of power in what we can do as people and the opportunities that we can get from just 2 days. 2 days. So yeah,
I love that
that's my
thought.
highlight.
Yeah, I love that thought of like representation as well and like seeing yourself in other people. And so I guess that we do that like with human nature, right? So without preempting too much for us, I'm kind of interested to know, like going in, emotions are probably still raw at this point, you know, in the episode, but you're obviously going to join the jury. So what's kind of your mindset going in? What are you thinking about entering Ponderosa, essentially?
I think going into Ponderosa, the main focus is I want to hear what people's mentalities like and who they're viewing as the biggest threats, because I felt at this stage I had so much brain fog that whole, and I think Zach and Ashley said this at the very beginning, that round I made so many mistakes. I felt like I was okay until this point, and then everything kind of just felt like a complete 180. But I felt like I needed to hear other people's perspectives because I've played majority of the game with Anthea, with Will, and then with Natalie. But so I want to hear, okay, what has Brie done? I want to hear what Janine's done. And I also want to hear what they feel is what's been occurring throughout the game. And so I think just collectively, we're trying to have a season of chances and seeing how people have been able to take those chances and run with it.
And knowing how you play, I think I know you'll look at that all objectively and make sure you pick the winner you think is going to best represent season 4. Was that something that you had to, I know, like emotions, as Charlene was saying, was that something that was hard to separate just as like a game style or no?
No, oh my gosh, absolutely not. I think I'd say this. I was like, I think I say it at some point where I understand why they did it. And it got to a point where I was like, I would do this. I get it. So there's no regrets. I felt like I went out there, I did what I needed to do. And they are great game players that are all touching on different things. And so I want to be able to do my part in being able to reward someone with the win because they've played an incredible game. But everyone's played such a different game. So it just depends on how it's being pitched forward and ultimately how we want the season to be represented.
I think everyone should be glad that you weren't sitting at the end because you're clearly a very articulate speaker, even tonight, explaining yourself. So they probably did make the right move. You kind of talked to Joy before, and that being something that you found a lot of in the game. Kind of keeping with that theme, I saw a lot of joy from you. I wondered what was your favorite moment of the season, or what you really enjoyed about the game. Like, take us through your highlight reel.
Oh my gosh, I feel like there's so much. We don't have enough time for this. I'm a little deep dive for this.
It's your episode. It's your time to shine. We've got all the time.
Okay, let's discuss. I think the first thing would be that damn eating challenge. When I tell you that Ben was just, oh my God, I can't begin to explain this man. He's exactly how he appears on TV. Like, he's just an absolute character. And the amount of times and moments that we would have where he would be saying something or doing something. And I go to him and I'm saying, don't do that. Like, you're only going to paint a target on your back. He would do more and elevate it. I think my next favorite moment was do you know what? Some of them I don't even remember in the moment, but watching it back, I was going to say that I was eaten out by the final six. So I feel like I should give a shout out to Mushy. I had such a...
Obsessed.
I feel like I found so much joy working with Mushy and just Will giving individual immunity to her. I think we had a bit of like an idea as to what might happen. And so there's a scene prior to him going to that tribal where we are talking about what he could do when he goes to this tribal, and we didn't actually believe it was going to happen. So the shock on our face was incredible. That night challenge, absolute nightmare. Jordan was tussling with us. I was pushing Maddie one side, trying to like cling on to Jordan on the other side. It was just
Rumor has it you
absolute
still have
nightmare.
bruises. Do you still have bruises from that challenge?
I'm the one that gave bruises, allegedly. But I think the truth.
One dark night with
is out
Derek,
there.
and you'll be left with bruises for life.
But
Well.
the funniest moment from that situation is the next morning, the first conversation I had with Jordan is he said, "Look at the bruises you gave me." And I was like, I don't think he wants to work with me. And so I think that actually kind of plays a role into the whole merge vote, kind of getting into that direction. What else? Just a sugar rush with Will and
Oh my God,
Nat,
that's so
and oh my gosh, there's so many great moments.
That
There's
was
many
so
great
funny
moments.
watching that back, though. You guys were on another level.
Mhm. One of my
I
favorite
felt like I
parts.
was a... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it's like, go. You go. I'll...
No, I was just going to say, and I think they show it in the bonus scene, it was so bad to the point where I was like, Will, you just need to relax, like lay low. You're doing this just... It was just like babysitting at some points, but it was just... I had so much fun with everyone. Had so much fun.
Something I admire about you is that, you know, obviously this was filmed a few years ago, but you're like one of the younger players on this season, but you're such an old soul. Like, you're so wise. And I think, speaking about what Zach was saying before, like, they had to get you out. Otherwise, you would have won. You were just so wise beyond your years. You've got so much, you just analyze things so well. And I just think you would have just articulated it so perfectly. And obviously, you know, I've believed you're like the winner from the start. You were winning first Backbenchers podcast, however many years ago that we filmed it before the season was filmed. And yeah, like, you've just been such a joy, as you said, but you have been a joy to watch. So yeah, we really love seeing
Thank you guys.
It's been
Thank
fun
you.
watching your guys' season gas each other up and like how close you guys are from this 2-day
Yeah.
game. So it's been a lot of fun to see that.
Absolutely. I think we're bonded for life at this stage. We've been through too much to, and I think that's the beauty of what Dan and Liv have sort of provided to us, and I guess just the whole Canberra community, and in turn just the whole Australian LRG community, where we have this family and this community that we know is there to support us and to have our backs. Like, sometimes I'll be going past Canberra, I'll just stop at somebody's house, or I'll go to, you know, Brisbane or Sydney or whatever. So I think
you
we're a little
but you just don't
quirky.
see me. It's really rude.
Do you live in Brisbane? But you know, it's just it's been a blessing, truly.
Absolutely. And it has been a blessing watching you and having you here tonight. Before you go, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Do you have any unfinished business?
I have plenty
There's always
of unfinished business
in Survivor.
Absolutely. I
And
think
who's on that list?
There's a few. Look, I never want to say anything just in case there's ever an opportunity to meet in life and in other games with people. So I would love to work with anyone, but it's on site if I see certain people. That's all. Yeah,
I
that's
love
all I'm
it.
gonna say.
It's been so fun hearing all of your insight through this last season and just hearing everything. I get a podcast every week from you, so I'm excited, to see the podcast in the finale.
And also just how flawless you look on screen. Like, it's actually crazy. I'm like, why do you look like that? Because if you've seen season 1, it ends not pretty for me. I'm like, how do you look like that at the end of day 2? Do not look back at season 1.
It was a 43-degree weather. Like, we were struggling up there.
I heard it was 50.
A week-old croissant. No, I can confirm day 1 is 28, day 2 is 31. But we were struggling out there. But we did what we needed to do. I needed to provide something, keep the people entertained. And, had to glow till the end. But thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and with us, Derek. We've loved having you.
It's been a good time. Lots of love, everyone. Great job tonight and throughout the whole season. It's been a pleasure every week listening to all your thoughts. And I can't wait for you guys to watch the finale. It's a good time.
I'm excited as a juror.
Yeah, we'll see you on screen soon.
I wonder what I'm going to be eating. Just we'll see.
Ooh, that's our teaser.
All right, see you guys.
Derek.
Take care.
Bye, Derek.
Bye.
Oh my God, what a legend. Getting a lot of love here in the comments.
He's the bracket breaker, I say, of this season, of your draft brackets being broken for most. Like, a lot of winners, so a lot of high hopes. He played it really well. Great strategic game. A lot of fun.
Yeah, and even there was a poll that went up, I think, last week, asking people who they thought the winner would be out of the final 6, and Derek was clearly the winner of that poll. And so I feel like a lot of broken hearts after realizing that he is indeed not the winner of this season. So with that, I think we should talk about post-challenge. As we sort of said, unfortunately, he missed out on winning that challenge. He was very close to potentially winning Challenge 1.0, but he missed out because Bree had just done an amazing job in Challenge 2.0. And as he's just told us, he realized very quickly he would pivot and move towards Bree. She had the power, having immunity in her hands. So what do we think about the politics and the conversations that unfold and ultimately lead to Derek's vote out?
I think this politics, if you will, is kind of deciding of which way am I going. That's what it seems like, with Will making a decision, Natalie making a decision, which direction is the right direction for me. And that's kind of the paths we see in this section before Tribal.
Yeah. I wonder, like we coming straight out of the challenge, it cuts to Janine and she's talking about how she felt Bree was the next one to go. So I guess for me, I want to start this chat with being like, do we think actually Bree was on the chopping block? Like, is that something that threw the cast into a bit of a spot? Because my read was that Bree wasn't leaving this episode. It really was down to these two that was kind of debated about regardless. But I don't know.
It depends on who wins, I think, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big factor.
That's a good point. But I feel like Anthony has got this itch in her brain, like where once I feel like you get to that point in the game, you can't get rid of that itch. Like, you've just got, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to stay there because she knows that she needs to, for herself, make those moves to get to the end and to be in the winner spot. So I feel like once you're in that position, you can't go back, and it's going to eat away at her. And it starts a trend as well, because if you start verbalizing that, which he's done to someone like Will, for example, he's not going to be able to get that out of his mind, and it becomes a bigger thing because it's like, oh my gosh, if other people are thinking about that, I need to be thinking about that. And it's pretty quickly at final 6 because eat away because you have one episode left, right? Like, if you're in final 5, as I've been told that you were in the final episode. So, like, I think people are realizing that they need to do things. And I think Anthony kind of started this trend in this sort of Final 4 alliance.
And I think she's lit the fire in the dumpster, and now she's like, I had to push it off the ledge. Like, I can't let it just stay burning.
I think it's less about the itch for me and more about that. Like, it's the, oh my God, I've been caught out. It didn't go through. I've severed this relationship. He's going to come for me if I don't get him first. And it almost felt like, for me, the blinkers were on because she had the itch, but then it turned into like a cleanup mission where it was like, if I leave, if I try and go back to Derek and go like, oopsie, you get it. I had to take a shot at you. Anyway, let's go for Janine or something. Derek's not going to trust her around that. Like, the damage has been done. And they're both good at playing niceties to each other. Like, when we look at that scene, but God, it's awkward. Like,
I thought it was so funny. It was so awkward, but so funny to watch, where he's like, so what do we do then? Like, it's like, okay, like, I understand that's what you needed to do. And he's like, okay, so what next? What are we doing? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm too brain tired. I'm like,
fake conversation. And you're like, and both of them are just like nodding at each other. And I'm like, they're both smart enough to know exactly what's going on. But it's so funny to watch.
Give me nothing.
So
in the best way. It's fun though. Like, because at that point, you're lying to each other. Trust's broken. Like, is there even a point to pretend? Well, they did, but I mean, was there?
I think so. I mean, like, what's there to lose? I mean, like, I think what Anthea did right in that particular conversation is admitting it was her who voted it. Like we talked about at the start, and where my question came from was like, was it worth it to lie for Anthea? Because it always comes out in the end. I think it was probably better for her to, even though he already knew it, go and be like, oopsie, yeah. There's less places to hide, like if it was a pre-merge or a big merge tribe and there's one vote that's for you, like Anthea maybe could have hidden away and it wouldn't have been as easy to find who the snake in the grass was. But these two are very intelligent people, so it's pretty quickly you figure it out. It's just really, it felt like two, warlords just standing next to each other, and we're just waiting to see which one of them's going to win the war. To me, that's what that scene felt like.
And I feel like, I don't know what your perspectives are, but I feel like Will is quite pivotal in that vote as well. I feel like he almost a bit of a deciding factor here, where he could have gone either way. Like, obviously Anthea got to him earlier in the episode, but I feel like it was a bit on him to kind of decide ultimately where he was going to land, because he wanted to choose someone out of his sort of Final Four alliance. But he had to go obviously with Derek, or he did go with Derek. So I don't know. I just felt like there could have been alternate options there. And why do you think ultimately he went with Anthea and voted Derek out?
I think a lot of this section I put to my brain. It's one of my favorite confessional sets of him just analyzing his game. But I think if I were Will and Derek have played a very similar game in the sense that they've had to socially strategic kind of like play around and work with different people while working with each other. So I think that's kind of why he's like, I can't go and sit with him because we are too similar, would be my thinking. And the fact that he has been an Anthea, like in his brain, number ones for the whole game. I don't know if Anthea thought that, but Will's thinking that. So I think that's like the weighing the evils and saying, I've got to go this way.
Yeah, he kind of narrates in that confessional. He says like, Anthea is my ticket to the end, and that's what I couldn't really grasp. I was like, oh, what's Will's? Why is Anthea so pivotal to Will in that? Is it because she's a threat in herself, and he thinks that keeping her around means people might shoot at her before they shoot at him? Is it because he thinks he can out-talk her because he feels he's played a stronger game? Is it just because he wants to go with someone that he knows is quite similar and he feels like he can take more credit for some moves? And I wonder the same thing on the other side for Derek, because it's really this, you really see him. He's the linchpin of this whole episode. I feel, I mean, Nat has some power too, I feel, as well, but
she could have the soul power if she wanted and use it. Like she
really could.
Like, I know she didn't, which is smart on her to get to 4, but like she really could have. I don't think anyone was going to write her name down because she's like, I'm going to use it. She could have sent home whomever she wanted, really. So
So what do you think Nat should have done this? Like, it's like a great question. Do you think she should have played the idol for herself? She does. Do you think she should have played it for Derek and those two snipe somebody else? Do you think she plays it on Anthea to really show her loyalties lie there? Like, I don't know if she could have used it in a way this round.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I can like fault someone for using it on themselves. I can't like,
Yeah.
like obviously like you want to get to the end, but it would be really hot to use a dangerous move. Ooh, just a little spicy.
It would be, but
I agree.
maybe do you do it at final 5? Because I feel like if she uses like, I don't know, like she could do so many things, right?
And this is what I think Nap's downfall may be coming in the sense that if she's had so much power to play with, and I think people are like, well, do something with it, girl. Like they're terrified of her, but they're also, I'm worried that people don't think of her enough of a threat. So they're going, well, it doesn't matter if she has the 2 idols, but if she can use it in this vote or hoard it and then be like, I'm going to cause chaos, play one for myself, and one of them's going to whoever, like somehow really influence, like that would be a power move. And I think Nat jumps to the top of the pack in terms of win equity. I just worry that her, like people on the jury may, because it's so known that she has these idols, may feel like she's lost opportunities that others didn't have, and then she gets more criticism than what others might get because she doesn't do something flashy with the idols.
I think I still feel like she has to do it, and this is a backflip on usually what I say. I'm like, do it earlier in the season, but I think she has to do it at final 5 though, because if she uses 2 at final 6, so say she uses 1 for safety for herself and then 1 to make a big move so it doesn't blow up in her face, like she's got the safety and she's making the big move, then she gets really exposed at final 5. And as you said, she's kind of like top leading at that point. I'm like, well, then she'll just get cut at that point. So I'm like, she almost needs to do it at final 5 so that she can clearly make it to sort of final 4. And she, I think, knows in herself as she's won a lot of challenges this season. So she probably has a good chance of maybe doing well in final 4. Like, it just depending on who gets out. I don't know.
I think this is the play.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
That's what I would fake it that you're going to use it and play it in someone else and then have final 5 safety to get to 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I think that's
who are we? We're just backbenchers playing on Monday morning,
Wednesday afternoon. It depends on
Wednesday.
What's the time difference?
Wednesday morning and Wednesday evening. We're all on 3 different time zones, and none of us are in Canberra, ironically.
Oh, yes. Oh.
This is a global game here. One thing I did want to pivot the conversation a bit, because one thing I did want to highlight that's really coming through this episode too is, and you touched on this earlier, Zach, emotions are starting to get high, but in a really nice way. You see these moments, particularly from Anthea and Will in confessionals, where they're talking about how proud they are to get to this point. And as much as people are still trying to get to final 3 and become the winner, they are really just so proud of their own game. And I just think, like, there's not a lot of opportunities in our day-to-day life as adults. Like, I feel like when you're kids, you enter sporting competitions or you enter things and you always get to, like, win races and stuff. But, like, you don't get that opportunity to, like, do something that's totally out of your comfort zone when you're an adult, start this whole new activity with people you don't even know, and then to just pat yourself on the back. And I just love that we get these, like, moments in this episode. It's just really nice to watch.
I think I highlight everyone with some moments on that. But go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just going to say, I think it makes you root for people more.
Yeah.
Like when I'm maybe because, like, like it makes because the LIGs are real, but it really makes the experience feel real as a viewer as well, to be like, oh, these people want to win. They care about the game. But I also think what's great about this cast is they're self-reflective enough to be able to find pride in their achievements outside of the success of winning. And then I think that really shows that it's the stories and the narrative arcs and the things that, like Janine's like, I may not win, but I've won in the sense that I wasn't voted out first or second. I've been able to return and make it this far. I
loved that confessional of Janine, and like that there was that overlay of the visuals of her in season 1 as well, and just to see her journey and to show like how much she's done. Like she did so much thinking as a returnee on how she went in season 1, and how to course correct and how to use her assets to thrive in season 4. It was just so lovely to watch.
And I know, talking about like Will's confessional, we talked to Derek how he's one of the younger ones of the cast. I think Will's right there with him with like younger. So like having this moment as like a younger adult too, kind of like you're saying, is like being like, I can do it. I didn't think of myself as social, but like I'm this social, like to get this far. And like as everyone's little brother, like it was a really sweet little moment to see him like be happy to cry and like get those emotions out and just be so proud of himself to like accomplish something that's really hard.
I think it's also like, and speaking to what Derek was talking about with representation, like I can see, like as myself, I see a lot of myself in both Derek and Will. So you feel it for them in the moment and you're like, oh, that would be me. Like that's how I see, like how you could see yourself playing. So it's really cool to kind of experience that, like, oh, I want to root for these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to spend a little bit more time on Will because I feel like we haven't spoken about him a lot this episode. When it comes to those decision making, when he was going back to Anthea or Derek, he ultimately chooses to support Anthea and vote out Derek. Do you think going forward this is the best play for Will? Like, why do you think he's made that decision? And because it's pretty, he thinks about it in these confessionals, and then you see him pushing Derek's name. Like he's made his decision by the time he's out there scrambling.
I know in the confessional he says it hurts me to push Derek because he's still coming to me as like looking like an asset, even if that is real or not. I think he has to do it because if you look at who Derek will take, I think he will probably cut Will. So I think he makes the right decision in his brain to move forward on a side that he might be able to win some immunities over some of these other people, seeing that Derek has won comps in the past. And I think it's good that he makes the decision and sticks with it. And it's time to like, let me try to go sell my seashells on the seashore here.
Yeah. I guess like you said before, maybe like he's been part of that Melbourne Boys alliance with him. Is also, both of them have been the physical threats, which neither of them maybe expected to be to that level. So I wonder if it's like trying to cut off the other person that represents that same part of the game, in just a different way. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm glad he stuck to his guns and pushed it that way because I do think he was the ultimate decider. Janine's going to vote where Janine wants to vote, and then it's him kind of trying to convince Nat and Bree to where this is going to go. We also see him with Janine. Like there's a particular moment that I found really interesting because I'm like, oh, is this foreshadowing? Or I don't know where this is going to go, where they get together, which is a pairing we rarely see. And they have this kind of conversation of like, let's work with this covert pair to the end. We could get each other to the end. It feels like Will's trying to say to Janine, I'll be your new Derek. He's leaving. Like, even though you don't think he is. Like, do you want to pair up? It's not something people would expect. I love this pitch from Will personally, but I wanted to know what you guys thought. Do you think this pairing will stick to the end? Do you think the duo could make it? Do you think it will come to fruition?
I think it's smart that he's doing up with Janine because in my brain, I think he's trying to be duos with everyone. Everyone wants to take him.
Yeah.
So is it genuine? Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe. But I think Will's being really smart, being like, this is an opening spot. Because as we hear Janine say, I haven't had a conversation with Anthea. Doesn't seem like there's much of a relationship with Natalie. But yeah, I think, go ahead.
I think the fact that we're even having this conversation just shows what a social strength Will has. Like the fact that we can't even decipher how legitimate his specific duos are. I think that says so much. As a viewer, we don't even know. Like he could convince us and he could lie to us. We were talking about a conversation earlier in the episode where we could very clearly see that people were lying to each other as viewers. But like the fact that we don't even know if he's real about, this potential pitch to Janine or not, I just think it says so much about his social game. So, yeah, he's definitely setting himself up really well. Obviously, Janine's commented here that nobody can replace Derek. So I would love to know what your thoughts are, Janine, but also both of you, Ashley and Zach. What do you think Janine's next steps are? Obviously, she's lost Derek now. So where did she position herself? She's got a lot of opportunities. There's been a big crack now in that final four. I keep calling the final four alliance, but the four alliance.
It's hard for me because I perceive Janine to, she's in a really tricky spot. She says it herself. Like, we have actually a lot of Janine content this episode, which is like, I've shot myself in this foot. I'm a free agent. So, but then she kind of leans into that to be like, oh, I'm a free agent. So maybe that can be useful to some people. And I think it's really going to be navigating, like, when you're on the wrong side of a vote this late in the game, to be like, oh, that's not win equity for me. So use me to shoot at someone bigger, and then you can build that win equity yourself. Like, I don't know if Janine is next on the hit list for the other four, even though they voted together. Like, I think it makes it more threatening that, now Brian, Will, and Nap all have the same move. So maybe Janine can work with Anthea to shoot it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's still got some footing. I think it's about her maybe doing what she did this episode, continuing to stir that pot, trying to be like, whoa, okay, I was blindsided, but, now you all have the same move. So it depends how tired people get as well, and how much she throws caution to the wind, or she goes full chaos agent, or whether she tries to kind of really rein it back in. But I do see Janine sitting in the final three. I think she could really make it there.
I think she pitches, you guys could beat me in final three. Look at the jury. I've done a lot of wrong to these people. The red team that I've turned down, I wasn't with. Like, I think she could really try to pitch that, and then when she gets the three, be like, no, I did this for purpose. I picked the moves that made me get burdened. It made sense for my my stuff I needed for power. Like, I think that's how you sell yourself: that underplay and then over deliver.
Yeah, you just don't want to undersell yourself too much, because I feel like, especially in the older woman archetype, people are going to dismiss the amount of power she's had in the moves that she's made. And I worry that people are going to do that to her when she doesn't deserve that. She's also a returning player.
I feel like the jury would respect that. Like, they would respect, like, if she is able to undersell players, make it to final three, that she's like, nope, this is all intentional, like, you're here for a reason. Like, I totally think she would get so much respect from the jury. Like Aston and Mars, and I just think that there would be some respect there with that gameplay.
So I think I'm just gonna TLDR what you just said. You're a little beep boopy. You think the jury will respect her using that to get?
I'm beep boopy. What does that mean?
No! Oh
my god, I'm so sorry. It probably wasn't that interesting. Sorry.
You were just swearing a lot. It just cut you out.
That makes sense. I'm getting censored.
Do you want to recap it, Ash?
Yeah, or Charlene, I think you're back service-ish now.
Oh, that's good. Essentially, I was saying I think Janine could get so much respect in a final three. Like, I think if she got there, she could definitely get the jury's respect and be like, this was all intentional. Look at what I've done. And I think the people that are sitting there would be like, oh my gosh. And you just mentioned this earlier, Zach, but people forgetting that she's a returnee, powerful.
Yeah, that's a lot of win equity for both Anthea and Janine if either of them make to the end. Another moment that happened that I wanted to touch on is what I feel like was a big strength of Derek's game, is that right after he has that frosty conversation with Anthea, and he's like, oh, well, who are we playing out? And they're playing fake. And Anthea goes, oh, maybe Janine. Even though we know it's a fake name, Derek hightails it to Janine and is like, Anthea's throwing out your name. She's coming for you. And I feel like that's all it is to stoke the flames with Janine, to be like, well, she said my name, then I'm gonna kind of lock in.
Hi.
And I feel like this was a really great move from him to kind of start a charge against the opposition, because he never gave Anthea a name.
Yeah.
And I wondered how far he would take that. Like, I wonder if he was going to go to like Nat or to Bree, or be like, he said, she said that you're going next. Like, just start creating
Just lie.
chaos. Yeah, well, like, they didn't say that. Yeah, I feel like it's the lies here that are going. It's like pushing against each other, maybe to kind of figure out how to get it through. But I really enjoyed that Derek did that, and that Janine kind of not took the bait because it was true, but kind of snapped it up and was like, right, well, you've locked me in. Like, I don't trust her anyway. So that was really interesting to me.
That's one thing Derek's really good at, is taking one little nugget of social information and like making it like $1,000 worth of nuggets. Like,
yeah,
he can milk it.
A couple of people I feel like we haven't spoken about a lot as well is Brie and Nat, and like maybe what their sort of next moves are. And while I ask you that, I just wanted to remind anyone in the comments, if you've got questions or you want us to discuss anything particular tonight, let us know.
I think it's like the Brie content that I wanted to talk about actually happens prior to the challenge, but it's still relevant because she is stoked that she has made it to this kind of part of the game, and she's really happy and kind of talking about, oh my gosh, you're on the bottom and then suddenly you've got some power. And this is before she wins the challenge, and she's like, oh my god, look who's here, like Nat's talking to me, what? And I think it's so, like, it's just her dialogue is really, really funny. And my favorite line from her sorry, my favorite line from her is when she's talking to Derek and she's trying to do this like crafty reveal of like that she voted for Anthea, so Anthea must have voted for Derek. And she's like, Derek, you've got to put your head hat on. And I'm like, what does that even mean? But that's the like cognitive fatigue where you see trying to be like, think about it, Derek, but she can't even say the words to kind of get it out. So I don't know. I just thought she really utilized that position at the start of this episode.
Yeah, I was in awe of her like gameplay the episode before, and like just setting up at the desperation station, and then going into this episode, you can see she's just so, as you said, stoked. And then I particularly loved that moment of when she won the challenge, like her face when they put the necklace on her, the immunity necklace. She just was so stoked. It was so nice to watch. Sorry, I interrupted you, Ashley.
Oh, you're good. I think one of my favorite conversations of Bree's is with Janine being like, this is why I did what I did. The last move, like that kind of just her explaining her vote and like just showing like, I'm thinking on all cylinders here. Like, this is why I'm playing like this.
I also really enjoyed in the same confessional from earlier on because I thought it was really funny, and not to bash on Brie, but she said it's like, what'd she say? It's no longer Little Miss Nice Smiley Brie from the pre-merge. And I was like, girl, when have you been Little Miss Nice Smiley? You've been brutal. You've been coming for these people since the start. And I was like, I love that about her. So I'm like, well, if that was Miss Smiley Brie, a little bit Smiley Brie, like I'm scared to see what this final episode looks like.
Never play any games with you. You are scary.
I just thought it was funny.
That is so funny. Well, Derek has asked a question here. So he's saying, for the final 5, what do you think are each person's best individual paths to the end? And I might throw to you, Ashley, to talk first about Nat. As I said, we haven't spoken much about Nat, and I think we did talk a little bit about her idols, but I think that's going to be quite pivotal in how she used the idol in the next episode. So what are your thoughts?
I think it'll be crucial for Nat to break up the group that she's been with the entire time. I think the jury would like to see her maybe try to get out of that trio now that that's there. That would be my thing. So I think she should get rid of either Will or Anthea and go maybe move forward with either the Red Girls. I think it's important to show that she's not just so tied to this group that she can do some independent moves. That would be my path.
Yeah, I think these are my real reads, but I feel like she probably has the least win equity of the final 5 for me right now. And she needs to kind of use that idol to figure out a way of how to kind of build it for herself. I think she comes like the strength of Nat is her lack of paranoia. Like she's really quite confident going into votes, and even when she's blindsided, she can reconcile, okay, well, that information I could have worked out, and doesn't kind of get rattled by it. So she has the strength to pull off some moves, I think, if she knows where the votes are going. But I also would be quite concerned that we've never seen people want to throw votes to flush the idol out. Like that's an indicator to me that the people that are still in the game right now may not see her as a bigger threat than them. So I do think she probably has a clearer path to the final three by just existing and not making plays. But I don't think she can win unless we see her like really smash out some moves in the next couple of episodes.
I do feel like it's come up a few episodes ago. There was a couple of episodes where people were trying to flush out her idols. I just don't think they could succeed. I think they were being able to pull it off because people just weren't in alignment on how to do things. Some people were wanting to make big moves. Some of those people are now on the jury, that kind of thing. So I do think people were trying to flush it out earlier. They just weren't able to get the right numbers or coordinate. But one thing with Nat, and I think she needs to show us, like at the sort of final four stage, or not us maybe as viewers, but the other remaining players. But she does a really good job, as you were saying, Zach, like she's really kind of like calm under those pressure cooker situations.
Yeah.
She does a really good job of repositioning herself. If you think about that whole sort of like pre-merge situation, she was constantly like, as Derek said, he didn't want to work with Nat at the start, but she has this way of making people feel comfortable even after they've gone at each other, or even after they've gone against each other, haven't voted together, that kind of stuff. And she has a really good way of just making people more comfortable. So I feel like that speaks a lot to her social game. So I think she just needs to be able to articulate that and to be able to say, like, this is part of my social game. Like, I actually am like this, and I've made you feel this way, or I've made you think this thing, and I've made you actually completely change your mind on how you work with me. And that's all intentional,
Yeah, especially with her and Will. Like, that was a storyline at the start of the season. One of them voted for the other. I forget which way around it was, but they were able to kind of squash the beef, and you really saw Nat really lean into it and go, okay, this is what I'm gonna believe. And I thought, one of them's got to go for each other now. Like, there's going to be too much mistrust, and it's LRGs are so fast, so the mistrust stays for a long time because between votes. But those guys really managed to put it behind them, and I think it's due to both of their social games and their ability to really trust each other. And they're still sitting here both in the final five, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was Will who voted for Nat. Nat's pretty forgiving. Is what I remember. It's been a minute.
Yes, but to turn that around, even if he was willing to let her go that early, and she was on the outs of that original tribe. I felt like if we had more time with just that original tribe, Nat doesn't stay around for that long, but she's really wormed her way in with her social game. So there's a lot. You're right. There is a lot for her to pitch. It's just
getting there.
How does she do that? Yeah, or making it feel bigger and better than other people who've played flashier moves.
Yep.
And I think it's that idol, right? It all comes down to using that idol, and then if it's used correctly in the next episode, it has to be in the next episode. That's the last episode, but in the next round.
In the next round,
Yeah, exactly. Then I think she has a really good opportunity there to like utilize that platform and be like, this is all the things I've done. Like, I think she's sort of gone under the radar on how good she is at challenges. Like, she did not just fluke upon these idols. She actually did things, right? Like, and she got away with a lot of things as well. But I'm like, the fact that at one point in time she had 3 idols on her is just beyond me. I could never.
Truly, she's got some power in her pockets, and will the pockets be too heavy to make it to the end or not? We'll find out.
Let's talk Bree's path, I think, because that one's really interesting to me. Yeah. I feel like on the opposite side of this for me, like Bree almost feels like she's such a savvy game player that it almost feels like if I was in Bree's position and playing like she was, I'd want to cut the people I was closest to making it into the end, because I want the people with the relationships I have on the jury. I'm worried for her that she doesn't have enough of those deeper relationships on the jury yet, and I feel like I would want to feel it with the people that I feel like would vote for me and respect the fact that I was a cutthroat game player. And like Derek, for example, is someone who probably does respect that type of play because he is very strategic. So I think sending him to the jury is a good move for Brie. Similarly, like I wonder if getting rid of Anthea for Brie is a good move because that's a threat level ahead of her that she can take out. And then it's someone who also might respect that type of gameplay. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know who she moves to the end with. Probably Janine is good for her. And I think going almost, I don't know, with Will or Nat, I don't know. I think Anthony is probably the biggest threat.
My thinking is I don't know, I was just like brainstorming. Will and Janine probably would be the two she'd probably want to go with, just because they have the little different games than her, maybe to try to like differentiate and like be able to like, this is why. I think she has a really tough path in the sense she's had a way different game than everyone else that's finally here. It'll be a tough road to it. I do think in the jury, she has early jurors, mid to early jurors that might root for her.
Like
Jordan and Aston.
Yeah, I think she's got Jordan's vote if she makes it.
I think she's got like Jordan, Aston, and Mars. If
I don't.
Maybe Janine's not there, like, because they played very different games, don't get me wrong, but I think in her game, right? And I think that is...
You've gone beat boop again.
Try again.
Oh no.
Try now.
You sorry. Is it okay now?
You're back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. Jump in and take over, honestly. Like people like Jordan, Aston. Is it doing it again? You guys take over.
Sometimes, yeah. It's okay. Just say your piece and
we'll pick through it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think because jurors want to see themselves. It's like what Derek actually was saying earlier, right? Like he's like, I want to see myself in a bit of that story, and so I think they would see that in Brie, because she's got that strategic mind. They've seen more of her game as well. I actually feel like somebody like Anthea, if she was on the jury, would maybe be more inclined to go with relationship base. Not saying that she wouldn't pick someone based on who she thought was deserving, but I think she would lean more towards someone that has worked with, because she knows their game and she's worked with them and she's got that relationship and things like that. So I don't know. We're all speculating here, but there's obviously only one episode to go. So
yeah, I worry she's lost Aston because she didn't vote with him, and that's the vote he goes out on too. So it's just it's so tricky to figure out if she does have some of those early people.
And I guess it's easier, not easier. Easy is not the word. We've got different perspectives because maybe I know these people, and because you're like,
I don't know.
Objective thing, whereas I'm like, would Aston do that? I don't know. I feel like Aston like respects gameplay. Like Aston loves like a mastermind of the game. Like I don't know. Tell us, Aston. He's probably not online right now. He can tell us when he watches this. If I was wrong,
Should we talk Nat?
Yeah. Nat. Who wants to start?
You go.
Nat. I'm trying to think. I kind of said I think she needs to separate herself from Blue. So I don't know. But I don't know if that's like, she gets to 4. So she just needs to pick off one person at 4. How do we do to get there?
I guess we talked a little bit about Nat and with her play with the idols. Maybe I'm just jumping back.
No,
it's my
you're
cognitive
good.
fatigue at this time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who she sits next to is really what I'm saying. I don't know. I think we've talked about the idols play and how she needs to do that to maybe shape it up, but I just don't know who she sits with.
That's a really good point.
That's where I'm struggling to figure out, like, what's her winning trio? Like, who is their best bet? And maybe it's Janine and Brie, just so she has all the Blue on the jury.
I think you're right.
I think you're right too.
Okay, So we've done Brie and Nat. Should we talk Will?
Will has every option, I think, on the table.
You think if he can make it, he's the winner?
I think he has. I don't know if people are coming for him. And that's
God, you are testing our skills.
Mhm.
Like the hardest question. I'm going to spend 20 minutes just on this one.
Well, it's a good though. I think it breaks it as we get to the end.
Yeah.
I think Will. I think he should take Janine and Nat.
Yeah, I think I think that's who he should take. I think he can take pretty much anyone but Anthea. But he's saying Anthea's the ticket to the end. So that's why I'm so confused, because I thought
Is his perception warped though? Like that's the question.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's what I'm worried about.
I feel like
I don't know.
you might have said this earlier, but maybe it's a bit of a shield situation. Like I think the aftermath of the last vote and sort of using her, if anything happens with Derek vote and there's an aftermath there, like it's like, is he using that? And then is he going to cut her off like right at like final 5 or final 4 or something like that? Like, but because they have, I don't know, maybe that's what he meant.
Final 5 is next round. Like if he cuts her then, which I think would be smart, because I do think for me, Anthea's probably got the most win equity right now. I think then he leaves himself as maybe the biggest last fish to fry in the final 4. And I don't know, I guess, what the format is coming into this. Like if they've got like a challenge for at final 4, like a fire making challenge, or whether there's a vote, like, I think it would come down to hedging your bets on what that kind of looks like. I don't know if they know the format already.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, you don't want to take that risk at final 4 because someone can easily win a challenge and get to final 3. So
yeah, I think for Anthea, for me, I think she just needs to get there. Like my perception is that Anthea could pretty much sit with anybody and win. I think she's shown an allegiance to the Reds that are on the jury, or maybe on the jury at that point in time, of hey, like, I tried to work with you guys to get out Derek. Like she's showed a lot of willingness to play, and even though the moves haven't eventuated in those ways, I think sometimes the jury can really respect when you're trying to shake up the game if they feel like things are a bit stagnant or going in a way that they expect because they have reads on the play. So if you surprise them going, oh my gosh, I never thought Anthea would vote for Derek, I just thought they'd walk to the end together, I think it can really show versatility, and there's maybe a lot of people on that jury that would give Anthea that vote. What I do worry for, and you see throughout the season, is she's someone who keeps her cards close to her chest. She's someone who builds deep relationships with particular people, but has criticized herself from the beginning of her wider net. Like you see Derek as an extremely social wide net caster. He can build lots of relationships. And even tonight in his interview, he's saying, I missed out on that one with Brie. Maybe if I had worked on Brie a bit more. What I worry with Anthea is she's invested into particular relationships, and now she's starting to cut them because she feels like they're her biggest threat. So she's walking in, putting a trust in a lot of people who she doesn't have really deep bonds with. And I think we could see her lose out at final 5 or final 4 because of it. I think if she gets to final 3, I think she's the winner for me.
Yeah, and like she is not someone I would want to go up against in final 3 because she's incredibly intelligent, incredibly articulate. Like
and a returnee.
Yeah, and yes, exactly.
She's a returnee as well. It's so crazy, like how well they blended in.
Yeah.
Are we on Anthea's final 3? Who we think she should go with?
Yeah.
I think she could sit with almost anyone and really sell her case. That's also, I think her and Will have both of like they have options, but it's more. I think Anthea has less options of getting there. I think Janine wouldn't take her there, so I think she might have to cut Janine. But I think Nat, Will, and Brie would take her there.
I don't think Brie would take her there. I think Brie knows that she's a threat. I think we're going to see Brie in these next 2 episodes try and flick Will and Anthea in either order, because I think Brie wants to sit there with Nat and Janine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's my read.
That's a fair read.
Because I mean, even then, like the other frosty conversation we saw this episode was between Bree and Anthea, where she was like, "Oh, I was trying to get them to wake up," and Anthea's like, "Girl, I was awake. I was trying to do the move with you, and you didn't do it with me."
Already at the pots and pans ringing. Let's go.
Yeah, and that was the one that I felt was a little bit combative because Bree's trying to be like, "Oops, yeah, I know," and apologize, but you can feel the tension between the two of them. And although they work together on this vote, I just don't know if that relationship's there to, yeah. What do you think, Charlene?
Sorry, I was looking back at my notes, totally off topic, but one of the notes I wrote was I just loved that at the start of the tribal council, the jury walks in and they're all eating ice cream. So while we're here, like talking about, final three, what's that going to look like? And these like final six at this point in time before the vote, like everyone's scrambling and the jury's just like eating ice cream, like let the show begin.
Was it like a golden gay time? Like what were they having? That's what I need to know.
I actually didn't look that closely.
Why don't we do tribal now? Because we covered all 5 of those end games and maybe where we think. So should we talk tribal?
Yeah.
Sure. I did love that Dan and Liv sort of just opened it right up and just said, station, what's the deal there, guys? Like, are we all feeling safe?
Yeah.
No, we just forgot.
We just ran out of time. We have no concept of time.
I think it's just what's more valuable, a shot at immunity. Like relationships is what carries you through this game. And I even I wondered if we were going to get a confessional from Derek tonight being like, oh yeah, I should have taken Desperation Station. But there's always and I'm glad he didn't say that because there's a part of me that goes, it's more valuable to be there stoking those votes and making those relationships because it's usually those that are going to take you through. And if you want to win the game, you've got to have those relationships. So I think they just all knew that it was better to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it worked so well for Bree the time before because she already knows she's good at puzzles. That's a strength. But she actually used it as a social game opportunity and kind of flipped the power there. So, yeah, I think if you use it like that, which was very smart, that's great. But I think you're absolutely right as well. Like time is of the essence. And, the less people that are playing, the shorter those opportunities are for those conversations, the less time you're given.
And they've seen throughout the season only one person out of the 6 has done it, has won. Like is it really my odds? Not likely. I'll play the dice of the social game.
And the fact that you're cognitively fatigued, like you said. What I noticed about tribal is how good of a speaker Bree is. And like you forget, I think what can separate the titans of the game from the novices is that you forget that tribal council is part of the game. You are playing, and she is playing to the jury, but trying not to give too much away. Yeah. And my read of Bree was like, she's trying to sell her game. Like she knows if she can get to the end, the game starts now. She's got to be talking about it. And the way that she articulated herself around, hey, I'm trying to collect as much information as I am wearing this necklace. It's not just about me winning immunity. It's about positioning myself in the tribe. Like she's trying to tell the jury more than the hosts, really, I'm playing. Like it's not just this necklace. I'm doing way more than that. And I thought that was a great play from her. But it really opened my eyes if I was sitting next to her on that bench to be like, oh my God, Brie could really pull this out if she just gets to the end because she is a really good speaker.
Yeah. That's the part that I often don't think about. Like your social game and you're like selling yourself still continues onto that jury because ultimately they have the power at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could lie at tribal. Like the jury doesn't know. Like there's so much you can do. I'm not saying be manipulative, but I'm saying it's a part of the game. And if you forget about it, people use it as a way to just fully tell the truth. And you find out so much from people because they think they're just talking to the hosts when they're really not. Like everyone's listening.
Mark it down in your allergy notebooks, boys and girls.
Mark it down. Yeah, use it for the next one. Okay, so who's your front runner for the finale then?
Oh my goodness.
I don't
like
want to say anything.
You're too nervous. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I have to stick with some of my draft picks here, which the two
Oh,
I have
smart
left.
idea.
I have Will and Anthea
What
left.
did I
so
say 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago? What did I say then? I think
I don't know how much you guys know, so I am not spoiled, so I can say whatever.
That is true.
I originally had Derek as my winner, but I'm pretty sure I had Nat. I feel like I had Nat as a finalist. So what else did I say in that predictions 2.5 years ago? If anyone remember, if any of you players remember what I said, let me know, because I don't remember. It's a long time.
I'm between those two. What about
Yeah.
you? Jack?
I think the
Ashley
same.
and I just being diplomatic.
No, that's fine. Like I hope people know that when I say this, it's not personal. It's just the read on the social play of the game. It's not who I want to win. It's who I think is by what the cast is.
I'm
saying.
still playing a social game as we speak, so I just don't want to say
You are. Yeah. I think we could see Anthea or Will win the game, and I think Bree could win as well after that. I'm worried for the other two. I really hope that they can do something big in the finale, but that's what I think. The cast needs to see something big from them to give Janine and Nat those extra votes. But it's really still anyone's game, right? It's 3 rounds that we've got in this last finale, and that's a lot of time.
And
Such a short amount of time, but a lot of time to make some change.
I've seen juries flip a vote in the last minute. Like I've been at some LRGs where like the jurors are campaigning to minute 0 left of countdown. Like it's a lot. So anything could happen. Anyone could flip their perception. It's so hard like to know what does this jury want.
And that's the thing I think as well. Like we can predict all we want right now up until this point that we haven't seen everything that the players have seen. And people looking from their own personal perspectives, also into juries with a bit of an open mind too, willing to learn something. So if we've got some open votes or free votes, we're just playing a guessing game here. But obviously we are talking about the final. And I thought now would be a good time, if you guys are happy for me, to play the trailer for the finale.
Please, I haven't watched it yet.
Yes, I would like to, but I have one.
You get to watch it in real time. Oh yeah, we can talk after it as well. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. I think my last one, and I don't. You probably know more than me, but I wanted to ask, because I don't know who's going to be there covering the finale next week. Who would you like to see in return for another chance at the game? Like I wanted just to talk about. But I know that I'm like, I don't know. But I would just like to say who I loved to watch and what I would love to see in the future.
Well, I have a bias because I have played in Survivor Canberra Season 1. So I feel like it's better for Ashley to speak.
I love a personality. I love someone who had a lot of drama. I think Mushy would be an amazing star, the moment the queen. I think our viewers have seen a lot of love for her. She's gonna eat us all out. We need her on another season to keep eating. I mean, I always will love to see Haley on my screen. I love big moments. Mars, love. Derek, I have to say, obligation. As in my friend, I'd like to see him on another season. So many.
Obligation. Derek, she actually doesn't want to see you. She's just obligated.
She's just obligated.
Who do you want to see, Zach?
I would love to see Ben play again. Like he was just such a star of the pre-merge. I really, really enjoyed.
He's my list too.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the cast was amazing. I think it's hard to Maddie. I really love the chaos of Maddie, but her and Anthea and all the returnees, but they've had a shot already. But yeah, Derek, Mars, it would be great to see. I mean, Mushy. I mean, there's so many different people and different personalities. I'd love to see
run back season 4. Just do it again.
Can you imagine an LRG where they just do the same cast after playing it once? I would love to see what happens. Like the same cast, you've had all those relationships. Crazy.
Oh, it would be so good.
But my biggest...
I'm already traumatized for the players.
Yeah.
I'm feeling their trauma for them.
My biggest desire to return is the croissant. It needs to come back every single season.
Every time I have a croissant now, I think of Canberra, I fear.
Yeah. It needs to be the
agree.
logo for season like 5 and 6. It's just the croissant in the.
I'm so
Every time.
confused. So wait, what seasons have you watched, Zach?
I have watched the entirety of season 3 and well, obviously this season. And then I've watched half of season 2 and I haven't got to 1 yet.
Okay, season 1 has like a croissant feature, but obviously
Okay.
season 3 has a heavy croissant feature, so does season 1.
Yeah.
But yes, season 1 has an interesting croissant feature. That's where the croissant started. That's where the Love Rock started.
I see.
You probably referred
Well,
to
then I can go back and revisit the love for the croissant.
lore.
It's a
Go
3-time
back,
recording
find out
player
the
for croissant.
lore. Yeah, and we'll revisit this conversation at the
How
end of
embarrassing
season
for
4.
me.
No.
Okay.
What? All right,
Should
I'm
we-
going to play
What's the
the
trailer? Yeah.
trailer and we'll go back.
We'll talk croissants later.
Next time on the season finale of Survivor Canberra Mount Majura. Only 5 players remain and the journey to the top has only just begun.
I don't know if this is correct, but I get the feeling that 3 blues at the end would be a boring scenario. That's what I think. That's what I would think if I was on the jury.
The players are ready to make moves and win over the jury.
Just by coincidence, I have done pretty well from a jury management perspective. Like, I've got 3/4 of my allies on the bench.
In a season full of twists and turns, it all comes down to this.
Overall, I'm shocked I'm here. I really thought I was going home lunchtime on Saturday, so it's Sunday night and I'm still in the final 5, so I'm proud of that.
Who will climb the summit and be crowned the sole survivor?
Was that a rope course?
Yeah,
I'm-
it's so exciting.
I loved that trailer. That was so good. I saw the very start of it when I downloaded, but I actually hadn't watched the full thing, so that was really fun watching it this then.
The drama. Anthea not wanting all blues at the end. It's going to be spicy.
It's gonna be spicy.
Absolutely. What do you got? Where are you guys watching the finale?
When is it? It's this Thursday? Or
Well-
Friday? Sorry, my Thursday. Sorry.
Friday morning?
I'll be helping at a trader's allergy, so I'll have to sneak in and watch.
Fun. How fun. What about you,
You can
Zach?
put it on the big screen, get my hoodie on, get some snacks, get ready and just
You guys
enjoy it.
Do like or something.
Yeah, well, when we have the funds on the backbenchers, to all fly together and do a live critique, we'll do that. Maybe for season, 5, 6.
Let me know the dates. I'll book my flight.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
fly
go.
over.
I think this might be one of my last backbenchers episodes because I have been involved in season 5 and 6, so I know what happens. So I can't be
Oh no.
really.
So what are you doing for this one? What are you
The life of
how are you
crew.
doing? How
What am
are
I
you
doing?
celebrating the end? Yeah, how do you celebrate the
Oh.
end of 4?
Asking the same question back to me. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm getting to that fatigue point as you're talking about. That is a very good question. I actually don't know. I just asked you guys,
Right.
but I haven't figured it out myself. Well, it's Daniel Moore's fault, actually, because he told me on the 20th, which is Saturday. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so nice. He's changing it for me. I'm going to be in Canberra on the Saturday and I'm flying down on the Saturday. No, it turns out he just got his dates wrong. He's like, oh, no, obviously we're just doing it on the Friday. I'm like, oh, that's so rude. How dare you not involve me in a season that I wasn't even in?
Well, next Friday, book it in, everybody.
Exactly. I've never been to one of these watch parties. I don't know if you have them in Perth, but unfortunately, I was actually in Perth when my season 1 finale watch party happened. So I got to watch it from my hotel room.
Fair enough. Well,
Anyway.
let us know if you're having a watch party out there, and we'll, maybe you'll have a backbenchers attendant. We'll be there.
We'll do a virtual backbenchers one.
Yeah.
Call me in.
All right. I just want to say thank you again, both for joining me tonight. I think we've obviously referred a few times to the fact that we're all in different parts of the world, and I really love that is just the beauty of the Survivor Canberra and the Australian LRG community, that we've come from all corners of the globe. We're different time zones, different places, but we're here all celebrating the same love of the game. And as I would like to end on something that Derek said as he was getting voted out, unfortunately, at that final tribal council. He said earlier that he tried to keep it classy, and he certainly did. And he said, it has been an honour playing with you all. And I just would love to say it's been an honour hosting with you as well.
Yeah, so fun. Such a fun season to host with.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. It's been super exciting to be involved, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Likewise, we will see you guys back for the last episode next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.